Hello all, today we're going to be looking at how to paint your very own mural. I'm going to take you through a process of how I painted a mural from start to finish, giving you a bunch of tips and advice on how to get your very own idea from pen and paper onto the wall. So let's jump on in. Okay, so we're going to start with prepping the mural. Now your mural could be in a range of conditions. Mine here, this power box in front of me, is awful. It's absolutely awful. Whoever painted this, they didn't prepare it properly and probably painted it in weather that was far too hot, and it's bubbled. Yeah, as you can see, it's bubbled like nothing else. So before I get started with anything, we're going to have to remove all these bubbles. So the preparation process for almost any mural is first masking off any areas you don't want covered in paint. You're going to sand the surface, and then you're going to dust it, and then you're going to apply your undercoat or primer. Now if you're painting a concrete wall, you won't need to sand it necessarily, but you just need to give it a quick brush or dust, clean off any cobwebs, that kind of thing, and undercoat it. But for this mural, and if you're unfortunate like I am, you're also going to have to squeeze in there scraping. You're going to have to scrape off just the excess paint. You don't want any loose stuff on the mural before you get started. So now I've got a bit of, I think it's 150 grit sandpaper here, which is sort of a medium grit, not too rough but not too soft, and that's just going to take off all the excess little bumps, just flatten it out a little bit. This particular box I'm painting on will be a bit rough still. It was just in such a poor state before I got to it. But yeah, the goal with sanding is just to get it as flat as you can, get off all that loose stuff, and then we're going to dust it off and get ready to put on our undercoat. Now you can see here I'm using Dulux. This is an Australian and New Zealand brand, which if you've got this, I highly suggest this undercoat. Resin quick dry is also very good, but if you're outside of New Zealand and Australia, pretty much any primer or undercoat should do the job. Just head into your local paint shop, ask someone there about what you can use to prepare a surface, and yeah, you just want to prepare the surface before you put anything on, because it'll stop colors bleeding through from what was already there, and it'll help your paint stick to the surface. So here in front of me I've got my design. Now there are a bunch of ways to get your design onto the surface to scale and to the right proportion. The way I'm tackling it here today is I've basically measured out a grid over my initial design, and we're going to measure that up onto the power box here, and basically I'm going to use two grids but at different scales to help me draw on my design so that it's in the right proportions when it's up there on the power box. Now for the initial sketch, I used to use pencil, but I found over time that white chalk, like a chalk pastel, can be really good, because sometimes when you draw on with pencil and then you paint over that, the pencil smudges and smears, and you've got these dark grey smears in your paint. But any kind of chalk, but white chalk especially, you can rub it off very easily, just with your hand before you even get into the painting. And when you paint over it, it doesn't cause any issues. It blends in with the paint quite nicely. So that's a little pro tip. And here you can see I've got these acrylic test pots from Resin. These are great because they're a nice little size, and I've got a few different colors for the skin tone here, and I can mix black or white into any of them to lighten or darken them. But yeah, 4 or 5 colors for something like a hand is a perfect amount, especially with black or white. So I'm going to use these, and I'm going to block in these colors, and then I'm going to go back through it and just define it and sharpen it. if you have any questions about how to go about painting a mural, or anything I didn't cover in this video, please let me know. Please ask down below, or you can find me through my website or on Instagram. You could even send me a photo of a wall you're working on, and let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to discuss it with you and help where I can. So please hit that like button, please subscribe, please join the channel, because we've got a lot more coming, and I'd love you to be a part of it. Alright, thanks for watching.